What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Triple Play Fantasy Network. I am your host, as always, Kevin Coleman at __ 22. And on this edition of the devy series that I'm doing is I'm going over the top 2022 class for each position. Wow, I need to learn how to speak there. And quarterbacks was my number one thing that I did. You can check that out on the YouTube channel. I put that out on Monday. You can check this one out. And this one is going to be my top 2022 running backs. And so we're going to look at the draft eligible running backs, guys that I think that have a shot to get drafted maybe in the first round, second round in that category. And we'll kind of go through it and just kind of, as always, watch the film, highlights, what I like about them, what I don't like about them, and talk about a little bit about devy assets and what you would do. So, you know what? I'm just going to go into my first guy. So my running back one of the class is Breece Hall. You know, Breece Hall, 6'1", 220, 215 in that category. 2020 stats last year, he absolutely crushed it. He had 279 attempts, 1,500 yards, 9 touchdowns, 23 receptions, 180 yards, and 2 touchdowns. A lot of things that you liked from what he's done at Iowa State. You know, the thing about Iowa State was they were trying to redshirt him as a freshman, but he was just too good. And he came out, and he's been basically the best running back, I would argue, maybe in the Big 12 the last 2 years. That's how good he's been. When we watch his tape, you're going to notice some things about him. He actually had a great game against Oklahoma last year. This right here just shows you everything. This run right here is a grown-ass man run. When you watch him play, I think the thing that stand out about him, he uses excellent vision. He utilizes it very well. You'll see him here. Dances, sees where he needs to go, able to break tackles. He's got pretty explosiveness within the tackle box. Like, that's a great run that you just saw there. You know, he's an elusive runner too, like within the pocket, or excuse me, within the line of scrimmage. He's pretty elusive at the line of scrimmage. I like that about him. Like, and you'll see, like, he doesn't necessarily have top end speed, but he has enough, you know, quick first step and acceleration to get through the line. Now, should he have broken that? Maybe, but he's got that good quick first step. I like what he's done. He explodes through the hole really well. He's got very good cut ability in the open field. I think he has great strength and contact balance as well. He's an above average receiver, as we've seen from his time there. You know, when we're talking about him, he's at over 400 yards receiving in his career at Iowa State. He's also had 3 touchdowns, 46 receptions overall there. So I do think that he can be a 3-down back. And I love his strength, his contact balance, like I said, above average receiver. Really only knock on him is that he lacks top end speed. And then the other knock, I think what people are kind of mentioning is where is his ceiling? So when we're talking about like what he can be in fantasy perspective, is he a running back one? Now, the comp is really lazy, I guess, depending on who you ask. But the comp that I have for him is David Montgomery. He does a lot of the same things Monty did. Now, yes, they played at the same school. So I know people will be like, oh, well, of course you're going to say that. But he does. Everything that he represents in that field, it really shows you Montgomery. And so I think Breece Hall could be a very solid running back 2 option with running back 1 upside. I think that's definitely something that can be there. I think he's 1A of this class. Now, this next kid that I absolutely love is Isaiah Spiller, and that's from Texas A&M. So I want to make sure you guys understand that after Hall, it's Spiller, and they're close. You know, I love his size, 6'1", 225. He's a load. You look at what he did last year. He had 188 attempts, 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns. He had 20 receptions, 193 yards. In his career, he's had 49 receptions and 396 yards, and he has just under 2,000 yards rushing in his career. And Spiller is a monster. And for me, he's 1B. And it's very close. It's just going to really depend on how this year plays out and what he's able to do at A&M. When you watch him play, I think he's got the best footwork in the country, bar none. He's quick. He hits his hole well. He has good acceleration. I like that he has very strength contact balance. This dude just runs through people. And you'll notice it here. He's able to hit, accelerate, get through the line, and then he breaks it. It's the same thing that we talked about. He's patient reader, patient runner, reads blocks very well. So when you're watching him in his tape, he can explode through the line pretty well. He's pretty elusive in the open field. He can make people miss. That's what you kind of like to see. I think that he shows burst at the line of scrimmage. Again, kind of the same concept that we see with Breece is that he doesn't have that top end speed. He lacks that top end speed that you'll see, but he does have the ability to kind of break it. He has great contact balance. Hey, he just laid his shoulder. That right there is fun to watch. Lay the wood on these guys, little old school running back style. He has the speed to get to the outside, and you'll notice it here. Again, he's a load to take down. I think that he's going to do well at the next level. Is he a 3-down back? I don't know. He's just like Hall. I mean, they're very similar to a degree. I think Hall's a better receiver than Spiller. So that could be maybe where you separate the two guys. So when you're looking at like, hey, fantasy perspective, what could they be? I do also say, one thing I noticed about Spiller when he runs, he really bounces too many runs. He's always looking for the outside angle, trying to hit that outside angle. And with his lack of speed, and I'm saying that as I don't have speed, but in his lack of top end speed, he could do that at the college level. But will that translate over to the NFL level? I think that's the real question mark with Spiller is stop bouncing the runs, and will his speed hinder him? But again, Isaiah can be. I think if he has a good year, he's going to vault over Breece. I think it just kind of depends on what the NFL sees in both these guys. But to me, they both are very similar in skill set, both very similar in profile. You'll see the size; they are literally pretty much the same back. And so it's going to be like, okay, well, can Breece Hall be a better receiving threat than Isaiah Spiller? We'll see. I think Isaiah Spiller can maybe be a better pure runner. Especially with his development, what he's done, and with his footwork that he has. So both those guys to me are 1A, 1B. After that, I do think there's a tier break. And, for me, my third running back has switched a little bit. So I'll be honest. I've been adjusting my rankings a little bit. And right now it's Eric Gray. And I'm not the biggest Eric Gray fan. So I just want to be up front with everybody out there. He's 5'10", 205. He's the Tennessee kid that transferred to Oklahoma. 2020 stats, he had 157 attempts, 772 yards, and 4 touchdowns, 30 receptions, 250 yards, and 2 touchdowns through the air. The thing about Gray that I don't really like is, he lacks top end speed, and he has a ton of negative gains. He gets hit, and he doesn't really have those positive gains that you look for. Hit behind the line of scrimmage, he's going down behind the line of scrimmage. It's not like Spiller where he's going to break a lot of tackles. Now, there's a lot of things that you could say good about Eric Gray. So first of all, if we just watch his tape, and there was some tape on him, everything is there. You'll see him as a freshman, as a sophomore at Tennessee. He played at a terrible Tennessee program, so let's make that clear really quick. I think he's an all-purpose back. So when you watch him play, he can do it all. And when you look at his highlights and what he's able to do, he is a true 3-down back. Now, he's got good short area quickness and burst. Again, above average elusiveness in the open field. You'll see him make guys miss. He can explode to a degree, but he's not a burner again. He lacks top end speed again. Like, this is a common theme that you're going to see with these guys, especially these running backs. Like, he's going to lack top end speed just like the other guys. So what sets him apart? Like, where is he going to go from there? Now, the one thing that I do like that he transferred to Oklahoma. He should see an explosion of offense production in that system. Lincoln Riley, Spencer Rattler, those guys, like, that's going to be legit offense. And when we're talking about where, when you're looking at profile and can these guys separate themselves, I think that's one way we can see it. If he has over 1,000 yards and maybe, let's say, 400 yards receiving, we could be talking about the running back 3 of this class and being there. Some people have him rated even higher. I'm not ready to go there yet, but that is also like I feel like it's going to be like this year's class a little bit to a degree. You're going to have Najee and Travis Etienne, and you have Javonte in there. And after that, it's a bunch of guys. Now, can Eric Gray be like that third guy, that Javonte that kind of balances up? I don't know. We're going to have to really pay attention and see. I think he's going to do great at Oklahoma if that system. I think it fits him pretty well, and he's probably one of the best running backs that Lincoln Riley's had in that system. But where is he going to be with all those other running backs of this class? I think that's the biggest question mark. I do have some serious concerns about him. Just basically, hey, can he step up? Was it Tennessee that was the problem that was kind of holding him back a little bit? Was it him? Now, if I had to guess, it probably would be Tennessee. Sorry, Tennessee Volunteers fans, but you guys haven't been the greatest program in the world. McDonald's bags, all those stuff. But, okay, that's him. Now, my fourth running back who I've shifted down a little bit is Kyren Williams, 5'9", 195 from Notre Dame. Kyren had a great year last year, 211 attempts, 1,100 yards rushing, 13 touchdowns. He had 35 receptions, 300 yards, and 1 touchdown. So we talk about Kyren, we're talking about explosiveness. Like, this is the one kid that stands out to me about explosiveness. When you look at him, he has explosive burst at the line of scrimmage. He's good vision and patience. You'll see it here. He had a coming out party last year when they thought Chris Tyree was going to be the guy, and all of a sudden Kyren Williams pops out of nowhere. When you watch him, he's got good contact balance. He stays low to the ground when he runs. He's got good – everything is pretty good about him. Like, when you look at him, he's got lateral ability. He's got quickness. You'll see him here explode through the line, follows his blocks. Like, this is the good Kyren Williams. And this is that kid that's that home run ability. Of this class, he has that home run ability that we talk about. He's a natural pass catcher as well. Like, he does very good in the receiving game. You'll see it here, able to basically break tackles, change directions, change speeds really well. And that's what we're talking about. And right here, big playability against Clemson. We're talking about he came out ready to play against big time programs. And so when you talk about what Kyren was able to do, a lot of things to like about him. Now, here's the question mark: his size, 5'9", 195. We have seen what the NFL thinks of small running backs like this. It's hard to use Kenneth Gainwell as an example because Gainwell sat out for a year. But look at the draft capital Gainwell got compared to these other guys, these other running backs at that size. He's got a crowded running back room. He's going to have to show that he can reestablish himself as that running back one of that room, which I think he is. But again, you know what? He could split a little bit more time. Quarterback situation is not as stable this year. Wide receiver option is not as stable. You're going to be noticing that, like, hey, maybe they do rely on him a little bit more, stack that box. What can he do? So he's got a big year ahead of him. I think that he could be good. I think the biggest question mark for me, and I always try to reevaluate my processes, is that size. And if that size is not what the NFL wants, and I can't just sit here and say, oh, that he's going to be that guy stepping up. You got to take a step back and say, okay, is this what the NFL is going to do? Where's his draft capital going to be? Where's he going to go? And Gainwell just gives me pause because Gainwell was a hell of a runner and he was a better receiver than Kyren Williams. And so now we're looking at, okay, well, can he be that next generational guy at that 195? If he can get the 205, 210, I'd much rather him get the 210, but that's easier said than done, right? Like, gaining weight for some of these kids, it's easy to say, oh, I just need to get 10 pounds. It's kind of hard for some of these guys in their athletic profile. So it'll be interesting to see what he does this year. I'm excited to watch him play, but make no mistake about it. I have Gray and Kyren Williams in the same tier. They're very close. So they're not clear cut here. They're very close together. Now, my fifth guy is a little out of the box, but I can't get him up on him, and that's Keaontay Ingram from USC. Transferred from Texas, 6'2", 222. You can see his career stats is 339 attempts. He had 1,800 yards, 11 touchdowns. 67 receptions, 515 yards, and six touchdowns in the receiving game. The thing about Keaontay Ingram, he just couldn't stay healthy. It just seems like at Texas, he had trouble staying healthy, and then he had trouble basically because Bijan Robinson was there and took his spot. So then he transferred to USC. We saw Stephen Carr transfer to Indiana, so he has open role now. He love his size, everything about him. He's a legitimate back, and the thing that sets him apart, he's probably the best receiving running back in this class. Hands down, I'll put that on anything. He is the best receiving running back in this class. So he has that already. PPR formats, all those type of things. Now, he also has size and strength and speed and athleticism. Like, when you watch a running back, he does everything well. The thing about him is he just has production concerns and injuries. He's a great runner. He's explosive. He has positive gains. He has a quick first step. But really, everything that just points to me is just his receiving ability. You'll see it here. Able to find the open zone, make the first guy miss, get yards after the catch. Like, this is a grown-ass man run right here. And you notice that that's what he does well. And that's what I keep coming back to. His ability, he has a skill set that not a lot of people have. Now, if he can just, like I said, stay healthy, that USC offense, I worry about that USC offense for the rushing attack. It hasn't been one that actually has shown to be, last couple of years really show it. Now, is that because of talent there, or is it because of the system? I think it's a little bit of both. So I'm hoping that Ingram can step into that void and really be that guy. But you'll notice right here, his ability to kind of be a mismatch with linebackers that can't stay with him. I think that he has a role in the NFL. If he can stay healthy, hit 1,000 yards and do those things, we could be talking about a second-round value in your rookie drafts next year. Again, positive gain. Now, biggest thing is, can he stay healthy? Rushing offense, production concerns, and lacks consistency at times. So that's why he is the fifth. Now, some guys that maybe – I didn't mention that are out there. I want to give a shout out to Zamir White from Georgia. I've talked about him before on the show and on the YouTube channel. I like Zamir. I think Zamir is a very solid back. Now, what can he be in the NFL? I don't know. I think that he's got to stay healthy. He's going to be a downhill runner. So keep an eye on Zamir. I'm not giving up on Zamir. Baby Zeus, baby. He's going to be all right. Tyler Algier is someone from BYU that's getting a lot of love right now. I think some people have him as ranked 4 or 5. I'm not there yet with him, especially with his lack of competition that he plays. I think he runs very high. I think that he doesn't have the skill set for the next level when we're considering top 3 guys of the class. Kevin Harris is another interesting guy from South Carolina, 5'10", 225. Don't love his profile. Don't hate his profile. I did a write-up on Campus Canton about him. Not a huge fan of Kevin Harris in terms of like NFL prospects, but if he dominates the SEC again, we got to look at that. And then I got to keep an eye on as well, kind of a deeper guy. My guy, Zonovan Knight from NC State, 5'11", 210-ish. I think that he could have maybe that Javonte Williams type of breakout if they actually give him the ball this year. So keep your eyes on him in white. But those are my top 5 guys. I appreciate you guys listening. And as always, please hit that like button, that subscribe button. It really helps us out. We really appreciate it. We just recently hit 1,000 subscribers. And I can't thank you guys enough for that. So I appreciate you guys listening. Follow me on Twitter for more devy, Campus to Canton, all that kind of stuff, at @DuBois_22. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.